lot of us just claiming these old cultures or societies that's not around anymore, and I think that's why they do it because they're not around, and it's easy to claim that you're a part of that.
That's the same thing with like them trying to go back to Egypt, and they just jump straight to Kemet, skip all of the. They even skip like I don't know why they don't try to connect with the Gullah people, the Gullah Geechee people down south. They're like the most tight knit and connected back to Africa. Like they're very similar. They skip the Gullah Geechee, they skip the tribes that are living and existing now, and go all the way back to Egypt. And they don't even know about any of the other empires like Atlantis, Kush, all those other things. They just jump to Egypt, and I feel like it's a big bandwagon. I feel like that was a very big trend.
I'm gonna say this because I came out of that. I came out of that whole wave. You know what I'm saying? And it taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? It really because I was heavy on Islam. Not gonna, you know what I mean? Real heavy on the Nation of Islam, as a matter of fact. You know what I mean? I wanted to be Malcolm. You know what I mean? So in that, I started, anyway, to make a long story short, man, it wasn't until I came into the whole Kemet thing that kind of like woke me up. Like, wow, this whole Bible, I'm looking at the whole Kemet and the way that it's formulated and the stories. And when you start getting into the whole, philosophy of it, it's like they copied it out of the Bible. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, if this came before that, I had to learn a little more. So in doing that, I started seeing that all of these traditional African tribal groups, they had something that they were doing that was still on them walls. So that made me say, man, I got to find out who I am. You know what I'm saying? So in that, it kind of, you know what I mean? I grew as, you know what I mean? It was like a little gradual to where I am today. You know what I mean? And, once I found the Mende, it made me study the whole region. It made me study what was going on, how they got there, who they mixed with, the wars, and and it really made me understand what happened to us as a people. It made me understand that we're not Africans. You know what I'm saying? This is a European construct. You know what I'm saying? Where they put us under one bubble, like we all have this one history. You know what I'm saying? Because what was going on in Guinea, Liberia, Ceylon, that's not the story down in the Congo. That's not the story in Benin. That's not the story of Dahomey. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we got it twisted a lot. You know what I mean? But I agree that we can't stay in a place where no one can come back and tell you when we're saying, oh, sorry, I said, you know what I mean? These different names that, you're not pronouncing this right. You're not, you know what I mean? Right. Even when we go to the biblical, there's no one to come back and tell you, listen, this is how you read this. This word means this word means that. These are dead languages, dead cultures. Yes. Well, we have a living, breathing culture that when we moving wrong, they can say, no. You see what I'm saying? And the things that we don't like, we can't just push that to the side and not talk about it anymore. Right. You still got to deal with that as a man or as a woman.
That's another big thing, humility and being accountable as well. Because when you're talking about those old cultures, it's easy for anybody to type up something and just fix the format on the internet and be like, yeah, that's wrong, etc., etc. It's no. When you're dealing with our people, you're forced to ask questions. You're forced to be a child again. And that's something people don't want to be.
Absolutely.
Like, a teacher always has to learn. A teacher is never done teaching or learning. Nobody is.
Absolutely. That's the truth there.
That's definitely true. It's like we have to relearn everything, and some of our people just don't want to go through that. They don't want to go through that stage of relearning everything. So
humility, like he said. Wants to be told what to do. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you ain't right. Nah, that's wrong, brother. It's not the way, you know what I mean, it goes. Right. So it takes a person to put their pride aside to really go through this transformation as a spiritual, you know what I'm saying? We talk that spiritual shit, but a lot of us, man, come on. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who be talking the most spiritual shit be the most demonic motherfuckers out there, man. Like how much
Facts.
sage and shit you burning. You know what I mean? You know,
Facts.
Yeah,
it's just
facts.
funny, man. It's funny. You know.
But man, we done touched on a lot. Man, I got so many questions. I got some more questions. Hindowa, you got anything for him?
Well, and touching on this whole, like I said, the whole, you know, the Egyptian, Hebrew, the whole, you know what I mean? Like we said, like these are just,
Hey, that. Let me ask: are they out there in Minnesota? Do you see them out there on the corners?
it's an
Yes,
American, yeah, it's an American thing,
they're
don't.
out here. Oh my god. I literally met this dude. No, he commented on one of my posts. And he was like, "Don't call yourself an African. You're not an African. You're an Egyptian Hebrew Israelite." I'm like, "Oh my goodness."
They threw
Egyptian
the
Hebrew.
Egyptian Hebrew. They throw the Egyptian Hebrew in it now, huh?
I don't
Uh, I
understand.
thought they didn't get along.
See, that's the whole thing because they got to attach it. Because remember, Kemet has been real heavy the last 10, 15 years. So they had to attack, everybody attached themselves to it. Nobody was talking this Egypt wave, you know what I mean? In let's say 2000,
I know that.
05, these different groups wasn't talking that. You know what I mean? They started to latch themselves on because they saw where the wave was going. Black people started attaching themselves to Africa now. It was on some, we don't want nothing to do with religion. It's all about Africa. If it ain't about Africa, we don't want it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what kind of started this whole RBG. This is what's, and they had to latch on, man.
And
Of
everybody
course.
tribe. I thought there was 12. Not everybody tribe is from Israel.
See what I'm saying?
Let them tell it, man. I tell people I'm Yoruba. You know, they want to attach me to that whole Black Hebrew
Hmm.
umbrella, and it's like they even do it. You know, on my father's side, I did two tests. On my father's side, I'm Bamileke, Cameroon, and they try to always. Soon as I tell them, I got some Bamileke heritage. Oh man, you're a Hebrew. They came from Israel and
And the
migrated.
reasons be so stupid. Like I heard my friend, he's Igbo. His mom told him, "Oh, we're the last tribe of Israelites," and he said, "Why?" He's like, "Oh, because we practice circumcision." I'm like, so does
Come
everybody
on, though.
else.
Come on, fam. See, and
Like,
this is what they don't know that a lot of Africans practice
so
circumcision.
that
You know, even when you go back to Egypt, you see circumcision. You know what I'm saying? And this is way before Abraham visited Egypt. You know what I mean?
mhm.
These people are just, we as a people needed something to attach ourselves to. And I understand that. You know what I mean? We didn't have anything to be proud of when it came
But that's
to
the problem. It's trying to attach to something instead of being of it. That's two different things.
nowadays. It's too much information for us to be attaching ourselves to something we have nothing to do with. Now, if you want to believe in the Christian God and equate that and attach yourself to it, fine, whatever. You're the children of Israel. I have no problem with that.
I
But now
think
my problem is when you start coming and telling me that this is what I am and this is, you know what I mean? No, you know what I mean?
yeah. Don't tell me what I am, and
Facts.
I'm gonna just get straight to it and piss some people off. I think a lot of people in the black community and the black conscious community is fear. When it comes to the religious subject, some of them have done research and they know that they can find those stories in Kemet before the Bible existed. I just think it's fear. Religion have put this fear cloud over you. Your sky daddy is gonna do something to you. So it's like they want to still be conscious, but come up with some type of group. But they still want to hold on to that Bible.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. If you're so confident and so sure in something, why do you always need to find excuses or feel the need to over explain yourself? Somebody who knows something does not explain themselves at all.
and they
Right.
don't leave that Bible. They don't have nothing outside of that Bible. Everything
Right.
is based on that. So you know,
I understand it, man. Like I said, I understand it. You know what I mean? The Bible got us through slavery. You know what I'm saying? It was the one thing that we held on, and then they
shit, it
could,
ended slavery.
you know,
Hmm.
huh? I mean, at the same time, it did, but it's all about how you identify with it. You know what I'm saying? We took it and did what we had to do with it. Now, did it enslave us? Did it? You know what I mean? Does it have its? Of course it does. You know what I'm saying? Of course it. You know, it was the very thing that But I don't believe that it's I don't believe that it's so much of a problem, man, than the actual identity of a person. I believe that a Christian can be a Christian, dog. You can believe in Jesus, you can believe in Allah, you can believe in if you want. I don't care what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, is what I'm saying is
Uh,
what you identify yourself with says everything about who you are and what you are. If you have no identity, you know what I mean? It's easy to wear a Christian belief on your sleeve and
Facts.
poke your chest out and I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, because you have nothing else. You see what I'm saying? There's plenty of Christians in China. I always say it. There's plenty of Christians and there's plenty of Muslims in China as well.
Hmm.
But if those Chinese Muslims do not move in the best interest of China, if those Chinese Christians don't move in this bet, they will disappear. Period. You see what I'm saying? And this is how you move as a people. I mean, this is how nations move. You don't just do what you want to do, you know what I mean, in spite of the people. You know what I mean? The first thing is the preservation of our culture, our people, you know what I mean? And once you move away from that, you got a problem. You believe in whatever you want to believe in. You can call whoever you want to call God. You know what I'm saying? But once you stop moving, you know what I mean? And what's beneficial, once you start moving away from what's beneficial for us as a country, for us as a nation, a race, that's when you have a problem. And this is how we have to move. I don't care about, because we're not going to tell grandma and great uncles, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? That God didn't wake them up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell my moms that, you know what I'm saying? The lights flickered and, she said a little prayer and it came back. I can't tell her Jesus didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna, So,
That's true.
my thing is, if a Christian can help me build something, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean?